On the news tonight, federal government to work with state government on solar homes program. INEC reopens portal for continuous voter registration. Muslims urged to always show gratitude to Almighty Allah. Good evening and thanks for joining us on the news tonight. My name is Joel Ukwola. Now the news in details. Data from conversation at the ongoing Davos agenda of the World Economic Forum indicates that the world used 9% more coal in year 2021 than it did in year 2020. Lami Ali has the details.
This is coming amidst nationally determined contributions to reduce the world's temperature to below 1.5 degrees by 2050. U.S. Special Presidential Envoy on Climate Change, John Kerry, and some global business leaders like Bill Gates recommend greater investments in the technology needed to transition from coal and fossil fuels to renewable energy to bring down the emission levels.
The Energy Agency tells us that 50% of the emissions we have to stop over the next 10 years are going to come from technologies that are not yet capable of coming to scale. So we need a massive effort of investment by governments and by the private sector to send the message that will accelerate bringing these technologies to scale.
Well, the rich countries have to play a central role, both funding R&D and having policies, in some cases carbon taxes will be used to drive the demand for these clean products.
At a session on accelerated and scaling up climate innovations, participants at the Davos Agenda Dialogues also recommend carbon pricing and using available technology to solve the carbon problem.
We're talking about major transformation in energy, industry, transportation at the same time. And the regulatory framework needs to facilitate this and make sure we don't exclude any fossil-free technologies beforehand, like small modular nuclear reactors, for example, which can play an important role here.
The federal government is working with state governments to identify communities that will benefit from the 5 million solar home system aimed at increasing access to power supply in the country. Correspondent Joshua Ojito reports that Sokoto and Bauchi states have indicated interest to key into the initiative.
5 million households with 250,000 jobs to be created by 2023 is what federal government targets under the Solar Naija project to provide reliable and affordable power supply to rural communities. The project, which is being implemented under the Economic Sustainability Plan, is expected to positively impact more than 25 million beneficiaries across the country. Sokoto and Bauchi states are leveraging opportunities the initiative is providing and approach Federal Ministry of Power to assess the project.
I have high expectation that our rural communities will wear a new look courtesy of Federal Ministry of Power's initiatives.
We have been so excited, and His Excellency has kept me on my toes. He asked me to ensure the support of the government of Bauchi State for this project, and whatever is expected of his government, we are committed to it.
Federal Ministry of Power stands ready to assist all the states that are participating in this program. The funding arrangement is already approved with the CBN to make sure that these programs become a reality.
These are the first states to sign the tripartite memorandum of understanding for the implementation of the solar home systems, with Kaduna, Kano, Cross River, Taraba and Ogun states expected to key in soon. Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari is making another giant stride by improving on the reconstruction of railway track from Minna to Barrow Park, part of the zone as disclosed by at the Federal Executive Council meeting. This the Minister of State for Works and Housing, Muazu Sambo Jaji, says will open up the access for trade, agriculture and other economic activities. Abdullahi Mohammed has that report.
The man in charge of Nigerian waterways leading his lieutenants to congratulate one of their own, Minister of State for Works and Housing. Settling down, the minister put on the table the good news, a transformative move which will invigorate the activities of the Nigeria Inland Waterways Authority.
The Federal Executive Council has approved a rail connection to Barrow Port. And I'm sure by the time that is done, you know what it means. Business for Niwa, business for the people of Niger State, and business for Nigeria, and a plus for inland waterways development.
For the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer, Nigeria Inland Waterways Authority, the appointment of one of their own as minister is addition to the long list of federal appointees from the authority.
If you recall, the Secretary to Government official was a former Managing Director, CEO of NIWA, then the Minister of State for Health was also a former MD of NIWA. And here again you have our former area manager, a general manager in NIWA, who's been appointed the Minister of State for Works and Housing. So we have come today to celebrate with him, congratulate him, wish him well, pray with him.
The delegation from NIWA left hopes that their own will make the nation proud. In Abuja, Abdullahi Mohammed, NTA News.
And now to Electoral Matters. Eligible Nigerians who may wish to transfer their registration or have misplaced or defaced their permanent voter cards, PVC, now have an opportunity to register for a new one. This is because the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has reopened its portal for the continuous voter registration exercise. Kehinde Adebisi reports.
Registration of eligible voters and updating voter register are some of the core duties of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. With the 2023 general elections just about a year away, the Commission has kick-started the process of opening its registration portals for the continuous voter registration. The exercise, according to INEC, will last over a period of 2 months, and Nigerians are expected to take advantage of the window. So far, over 8 million Nigerians have registered nationwide, using both the online portal and physical registration mode since the portal reopened in July last year. Abdurrahman Ajao is one of those who have seized the opportunity to enroll.
I've registered for a long time, but the face is not clear and my name is not written fully. So I came to make corrections on that.
Some respondents who already have their PVCs encouraging other Nigerians to take advantage of the opportunity rather than wait for last-minute rush.
Your number should also be part of those. At least you have a clear conscience that you did your own part and you did your own. You did your civic responsibility, which is voting for whoever you want. So I think I would advise everyone who has not gotten to please get it.
Apart from election, it is useful. Take for instance in a bank. They demand for PVC or voters card, PVC or NIN. It's very good, and I want Nigerians to go for the art as well. For those who have not done that, to go for it, and those who have done it, and then to keep it very well.
I have it already, but silent time is busy, and I'm about to register for another.
It is expected that before the deadline expires, more eligible Nigerians will visit the portal to make needed amends where necessary. In Lagos, Kehinde Adebisi, NTA News.
You're still watching the news at 7 on NTA Ijebu ode. The news continues after this message.
Fake news which is shared for malicious purposes is a danger to our peace and security in Nigeria. Misinformation as fake news is a serious threat to our hard-earned democracy and promotes hatred and misunderstanding between our communities. We are all responsible for stopping the spread of fake news in its tracks. So, always check the source and credibility of any news item. Say no to fake news.
Muslim faithfuls have been urged to always show gratitude to Allah, as this is a means of getting more blessings from Him. This was emphasized by Alhaji Abdurrafiu Barua in his khutbah at today's Jumat service at the Muslim Congress Mosque in Ijebu ode. Correspondent Kehinde Amele reports.
The Muslim faithful were called to be thankful and have the spirit of showing gratitude in them always. The Imam, Alhaji Baruwa Rafiu, in his words said, "Gratitude from humans to God is a great and important act, thanking Allah for his mercies and blessings upon human lives." He further said, "Showing gratitude is one of the agreements between human and God, which must be complied with." Some of the faithful spoke on the lessons learned.
Someone is trying to think about this life, you're not able to get itself, you're not able to understand what he or she is doing. So, and he has also talked about many things about this life that if somebody try to understand it, you'll be able to make it in life.
Whatever we have to give Allah, so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give us more and more of it from his mercy at large, beyond our own expectation.
Okay, basically the overall lesson is on the fact that Islam covers all the facets of human life, and including showing gratitude. So today's lesson was centered on showing gratitude, and the Imam made us to understand the fact that be you rich or poor, no matter the situation you find yourself, you should always know that Allah has done something to you which he has not given someone else. For instance, good health, good health, sound mind, intellect, all these things. There are people who have all the money in the world and they don't have these things. So if you are able to afford probably 2 square meals and you are complaining that you don't have this, you don't have that, then you are not a Muslim that is really showing gratitude to Allah. And they also made us to understand that Salat is one of the best ways by which we can show gratitude to Allah. And it is when you pray as a Muslim male, when you pray in Jama'ah at the right time and in the right manner, that is when you can say that you have offered Salat. So, but the overall lesson which I picked from today's sermon is just that Islam, there is nothing like Islam, because it is only Islam that made us understand that whatever you have in life, or whatever situation you find yourself, you should always know that you have something unique that Allah has done to you that He might not have given to someone else who you are looking at that he has 1 or 2 things that you don't have.
The Imam also said, faithful should seek God and not human whenever they are facing one challenges or the other. He said, whoever gives thanks to God will have more blessings. The Imam later led the faithful in prayers and supplications to Allah. In Ijebu ode, Kehinde Amele, NTA News.
To end the news, there is a recap of our major stories. The federal government is to work with the state government to map out communities that will benefit from the 5 million solar home system programs of the federal government. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has reopened its portal for continuous voter registration exercise. And lastly tonight, we inform you that Muslims have been urged to always show gratitude to Almighty Allah to be guaranteed more blessings from the Creator. That does it on the news tonight. The news continues in Yoruba language immediately after the break with Segun Adekoya. Thanks for staying with us.